and welcome to the program. This is Sunday Politics live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbalo here in Abuja. Well, what a past few days it has been. A most tense atmosphere in Rivers State over the past days climaxed yesterday into an even more dramatic end as both the ruling People's Democratic Party and the main opposition like the All Progressives Congress and the Labour Party all came out with literally nothing in the local government elections in Rivers State. Well, the outcome goes like this. The Action People's Party, APP, won 22 chairmanship positions out of the 23 local government seats available and up for contest in the Rivers State, where the Chief Electoral Officer of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RSA, Alphonsus Enebeli, declared the results on Saturday in Port Harcourt. But a lot since happened. Let me backtrack just a bit. We saw an even very interesting scenario playing out where people went out to vote amidst all of those legal and political gymnastics that we saw over the past few days. But people of Rivers State, they went to the poll. Those who say, we will not, political parties say, do not go. Court order saying, don't do this. They're on another court is saying, do this and do that. There's a lot of confusion in the air about that local government election. And interestingly, Akwa Ibom did his own local government election, and PDP won about 98% of the local government seats up for grabs. And almost everybody, people didn't even notice that Akwa Ibom had his own. But Rivers State is an exceptional case, and we saw people went to the poll, of course, and voted. But one thing happened. We saw the incident that happened at the APC office in Port Harcourt, and there's been reactions towards that. What exactly could have gone wrong? Take a listen, of course, to Mr. Tony Okocha.
Some gun-trotting young men with their explosive and all that came here and dropped the first explosive. Maybe because the second one they dropped around that side did not detonate. They came back the second time where you see to burn the structure. Look at the security house is gone. Behind me, you will see too that there was also an attempt. It was just our boys, not an attempt, they did. Our boys now came, our people came, and they were able to put out the fire. We had made entry to police, police station. The DPO came himself to ascertain the level and extent of damage. So when the governor said that he's ready for war, that it is his last fight, even against a judgment of court that has been served on him, that he had made references to over and over again. So what else? Is APC Secretariat here any voting unit? There's no voting unit here. So it was deliberate to see how they can annihilate us. It is deliberate to see how they can embarrass us. It is a deliberate attempt to see how they can decimate us.
That's from the APC, of course. I don't know why the pictures of the voting, which I like our viewers to see of what really went down, how things went. In some areas, it was raining. In some other areas, it was pretty much straightforward how the voting exercise went in Port Harcourt on Saturday. And well, it all dovetailed till very late in the night when results started trickling in. It was the APP which came out of the blues, where you have the big parties, the PDP, APC, the Labour Party, but APP is a party that took the day. And of course, earlier today, Governor Siminalayi Fubara sworn in the 23 newly elected local government chairmen in Rivers State. The exercise held at the executive chamber of the government house in Port Harcourt, the state capital, earlier today. And this comes a day after the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission conducted an election at the grassroots. Well, the event also saw in attendance the governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Mohammed, who is also the chair of the PDP Governors Forum. Although the PDP shot blank as far as the result is concerned, but it does look like it was a celebration of the PDP. The governor says he was happy about the success of the LG election. He says that it takes the help of God to survive the past few days. Let me allow you to listen to Governor Bala Mohammed.
Yes, we have lost as a party, and that is why we are running from this. Again, he has established himself as a governor and the pride of all the governors of Nigeria. At the subnational level, you cannot just ignore a governor. A governor is the chief executive. He can do anything. He can spring surprises because the Nigerian state is run by governors at the subnational level. Even the federal government is a tenant. Nigerians live in the states and in local governments. And that's why what he did to me is very, very proactive and creative, irrespective of the fact that he knew his party would lose.
All right, that's Governor Bala Mohammed who spoke. After there was a meeting after the swearing. Let me allow you to listen to the sight and sound of the swearing in which held today.
Ensure that you be I use the word sound. Open your doors. Embrace everyone. And I assure you that nothing is bigger and greater than that. That is the structure. I want to charge you to be peace-loving. I'm aware that they are mobilizing 20 people per unit to go and confront you tomorrow when you resume in your local government headquarters. But please, if they're coming with violence, avoid them.
That's Governor Similayi Fubara today at a swearing. Let's get a few minutes to look at exactly what is going on in Rivers State. It's too much of controversy that we have seen over the past few days. One of those who are in the lead, in the front line of all of this political upheaval, if you may call it, is the former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Austin Opara, who joins us live from Port Harcourt in Rivers State. Thank you so much. It's good to see you, Right Honorable Opara.
Thank you, Shehu. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. You are a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party. But, I mean, in your lifetime, you've seen a situation where your party, the sitting ruling political party, went to the LG election, shot blank. APC, shot blank. Labour Party, shot blank. APP, which we, well, politically speaking, we do know, and a lot of Nigerians know, that this is perhaps driven by the state governor. But how do you describe that kind of political complexity that has being the, well, the definition of reverse politics as of today?
Yeah, thank you, Shehu. What we are seeing, I'm finding now, is a situation that one man wants to control all the political structures in the state. That's where we are. You know, it's only crab that eats with two hands. Crab is eating with both hands. A man wants to be in control of APC structure. He wants to be in control of PDP structure in a state, in a democracy. How do you explain that? So we found ourselves, and I think the governor found himself in a situation where the party structure is not in his hands. So he stayed away from the election, but he insisted on conducting the election. And trust me, we should give credit to Governor Fubara, because from all indications, by the end of this month, if any state that does not have a democratically elected local government structure may not receive your money. What's the implication? It means that civil servants at local government level will not be paid, families will be deprived. So Governor Fubara was selfless in this situation, sacrificed and ensured that rather than his party, rather than go on party line, let there be an election so that the state will continue to benefit from the situation. And that's where we found ourselves. And for me, I have no difficulty with it. I voted yesterday, but the people who think that they are alpha and omega in control of all parties said they are not going to contest the election. But the election held.
But how do you describe it also as you are a party man? If there is a sitting governor who did not, who is said to have supported and built a structure for another political party and fed another political party in an election, how much of an anti-party, or how do you describe that kind of scenario?
Yeah, so you cannot describe that as anti-party because his party where he belongs. And if you listen to his inauguration speech today at the swearing-in, he said he's still a member of the People's Democratic Party. So his party opted out from the election. And how do you explain that? A PDP state, yet PDP's leadership in the state said they are opting out of the election. So he decided that the elections should hold. Now, let me make this point to you and to Nigerians. Benue had election. Akwa Ibom had election. Nobody heard about Akwa Ibom election or Benue election. But in Rivers State, I can tell you, look at the results. APP won 22. AA won 1 out of the 23 local governments. In the councillorship, 319 wards, about 6 or 7 parties won. That is to show you how liberal and how free the contest was in Rivers State. Benue is different. That's an APC state. APC won all the chairmanship slots and all the councillorship seats. So I think
let me ask you,
Governor Fubara deserves some.
Honorable Opara,
yes. Let
me ask you, you are a friend, a supporter, once a supporter, and a huge side player with former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. Where do you stand today?
Clearly, I'm a PDP member. I stand with Governor Sim Fubara in Rivers State, and I stand with the people of Rivers State. And I say so without mincing words. Yes, you are right. I was with former Governor Nyesom Wike. But let me even enlighten you and listeners a little more. In 2015, I was his chairman of his inauguration committee. In 2019, I was chairman of his inauguration committee. In 2019, I was his agent at the collation. In 2022, I was his agent at the presidential primary that he was thoroughly defeated by Atiku. Right? So, yes, we are political associates, but now we no longer are.
I mean, can one describe that as some kind of betrayal? And on the other side, you know what they're saying, that your likes are now fair weather friends. You were there, and some of you argued and debated in the emergence of Governor Similaye Fubara, whom some of the people in the PDP said it's unfair for Wike to have brought a Fubara to power. But now they say it's a fair weather situation for you now to be against Nyesom Wike. At what point did you depart from supporting Nyesom Wike?
Okay, so it's good to put the record straight. I told you that up till these primaries, I was his agent, right? So, and the primary came after the emergence of Governor Sim Fubara as the candidate of PDP in Rivers State. So his primary came after. But the point of disagreement was that he decided to leave, not to support the PDP candidate. And we said, no, we are loyal PDP members. We will support PDP all the way. So we worked for PDP Atiku, and we supported Sim for the governorship. So we were PDP. So that was the point of disagreement, where on his own he clearly felt, oh no, he cannot support PDP because he lost the primaries for governorship, presidency, and lost the bid to become the running mate Atiku. So if it is a matter of betrayal, I can tell you that clearly he betrayed PDP and betrayed all of us. We all played major roles for his emergence in 2015, clearly, and he knows it. But today, all you hear is that he's the governor, he was the governor, nobody, clearly, you know, you've said it clearly. we all were part of making him. Two people that, aside God, first God, the next is former first lady, Patience Jonathan, another is Prince Uche Secondus. Then we are the next level. But what is his relationship with all those people today?
So let me ask you, legally speaking, where do you think this election will stand in the eye of the law? This local government election, there is a substantive judgment of court saying that election as a K-leg, as far as those 7 points position of the Honorable Justice Wite's court in Abuja has come out to proceed that, look, there are issues and there are positions of court on that election. There are other court orders which are injunctive in nature that have come before that. Though there are those who, legal minds, who will say there's going to be a fundamental problem with that local government election. Are you worried about that?
Did I hear you say Justice Wike's court?
No, I didn't say Justice Wike. I didn't say Wike.
Oh, because I'm beginning to wonder. But let me respond to you clearly. Let me respond to you. Which was the first order of court that was gotten? It was the order that said the election should hold before the Federal High Court order that came. But beyond that,
no, one is an injunction. Just for a moment, sir, so that we can put perspective for our viewers to understand and not confuse them. The order coming from the High Court in Rivers State is an injunction, which is which expires. It has a deadline of which it can expire. But the judgment was a substantive judgment from the Federal High Court. So legally speaking, there are those who will say one is momentary. There is a more permanent one, which is a position of the Federal High Court. So that's perhaps the perspective. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, Sharon, let me even go with you without even conceding. Let's assume with what you've said. What is the lifespan of an interim order? 7 days, assuming. That order was given on the 30th. The election held on the 5th. Has it lapsed? But that is semantics. Let's go to the issue. Section 84 of the Electoral Act says no court can stop an election. And we should be careful because we are setting wrong precedent in this country. Otherwise, a court will give an order stopping the presidential election. A court will give an order. We should be careful. It's an election. And there are tribunals after. There is the tribunal, there is the appeal tribunal. Why don't they go there if there are issues? If there are issues. So the elections have held, and I'm sure you saw people voting. I voted yesterday. I'm sure you saw it. Rivers people voted, and today they were sworn in. So what is the issue?
Let me ask you quickly, so we wrap up this, Honorable Opara. Mr. Atiku Abubakar is coming out to say that Rivers people are resolute and reject oppression. Governor Fubara has said desperate situation calls for desperate actions. And I'm imagining that this is perhaps the first of a more troublesome legal and political times that we might be seeing in Rivers State going forward. But from your own standpoint, what kind of statement does the yesterday event or the event of the past days or today, the outcome of today, what does it portend for the politics of Rivers State?
Clearly, what it portends is that Rivers people are tired of oppression. Rivers people are tired of emperorship. Rivers people are tired of dictatorship.
Is there an emperor? Is there a dictator in Rivers politics?
There was.
Who is that?
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know. You might want to expand.
No, you listen to me. You know the difference? The difference now is that we have a governor who wants to serve people, not to be served. Not a governor who Adolf Hitler is his mentor, or Trump. No, so this is the situation.
Who is the person you are talking about? It does look like you are talking in proverbs.
It's better to talk in proverbs. I heard that.
Okay.
So Rivers people, what you have seen within these few days is that Rivers people feel liberated. Rivers people are happy. They came out in their numbers to vote, and they are excited. So you have your reporters in Port Harcourt. Let them go to the streets of Port Harcourt and see the excitement in the mind and the faces of the people of Rivers State.
Thank you so much indeed. But if there is a way to resolving these political problems in Rivers State, what would you suggest? You are an elder statesman as far as the politics of Rivers State is concerned.
Yes. Thank you very much. I'm an elder, and I say it without, I've said it, and I'm repeating. Clearly, the way forward is we have a sitting governor. If you are dissatisfied with him, be patient till 2027. Prepare yourselves, go to the polls. If you defeat him, so be it. But for now, there's a sitting governor because the state is suffering from all the bickerings. The state needs peace so that we can continue to develop and get ourselves better.
All right.
But Sean, before you go, let me make a point to you. Let me make a point, please. Listen, I went to vote yesterday because Nigerians should see this. We should condemn the action of the police. They said they were backing out of the election, no problems. But until I got to voting point and came back, I never saw one police on the road. The normal police blockade on the road, they removed. So it could be described that police yesterday in Rivers State were on strike. If there was robbery, the people would have gone free. If there was kidnap, they would have gone free. But another dimension to it is that we can hold elections in this country without police. That's one message that has come out from the Rivers State election.
All right. Right, Honorable Austin Opara, former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, let's now move into some national issues. Tonight, I will be speaking with the Minister of Arts, Culture and the Creative Economy, who is here to discuss the government's ambitious plan to diversify our economy by embracing the creative sector. With over 60% of Nigeria's population under the age of 30, the youth are brimming with innovative ideas and talents that can drive economic growth. Currently, the creative economy contributes approximately 2.5% to our GDP, with a potential to significantly increase that figure, giving our rich cultural heritage and artistic output. However, Nigeria is losing billions annually due to underinvestment in this sector, including massive untapped revenues from music, film, fashion, and visual art. Well, the minister herself is arty. Before she became a minister, you perhaps know her for one thing, which is what I would show you now. Watch. Well, the minister herself joins us live. Ms. Hannatu Musawa, thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
How long did it take to film that?
It didn't take long to film it. It took a little longer to, maybe the post-production.
Yeah.
And writing it was not, it didn't take too long either.
It coincidentally came out for the 1st of October, Independence Day.
Yeah.
Was that deliberate?
Yeah, it was.
It was your own piece from your office or from your ministry to the rest of the nation, isn't it?
No, actually, it was the president's idea. Many months ago, he called me and showed me a piece that he had seen called I Am Nigerian, written by Inku Asika. And he wanted me to do something about it in terms of how we could sort of present that kind of patriotism that the piece elicited. So I said to him that I would see what I would do. So I took the spoken word that she did, turned it into a poem, and then extended it. So what you have seen there is one part out of 7. It's a series of 7.
Did you give credit to her, though?
Yes, of course we did. We gave credit to her spoken word. The poem was written by myself, so we gave credit to her. There's part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 7. So by the time everything unveils, I think there'll be a lot of surprises along the way. So Nigerians should be stay tuned to see the beautiful, message that's going to come out.
So you're a minister, yet you're a talent in the ministry also. But interestingly, there are a lot of people who thought that you are a powerful woman, politically speaking. By the virtue of the controversy around you and your NYSC, you shouldn't be in cabinet. How did you find your way to becoming a minister without an NYC certificate in the first place?
Well, you say that, but I don't know what you have heard. You know, there's been so many different accounts of that particular situation. The fact that I'm sat here should tell you that really nothing I didn't do anything wrong. I have not come out to set the record straight as to really what happened. The media, social media has just run rife with different accounts. The matter has been adjudicated, and you know, one day I will come out with my own account, and the fact that I'm sat here should tell you.
Summarize it for us tonight in one sentence.
Well, I can tell
because you owe Nigerians that explanation.
I think what I can tell you is I've probably done more NYSC than yourself. I've done at least 2 years of NYSC in my life, but you know, like I said, one day I will come out to give a proper account of what happened.
Is this something that someone vilified you, or what exactly is the true picture of things?
Perhaps.
Because you owe Nigerians that much. You cannot run away or shy away from telling Nigerians, because you are holding that office in trust. But there are 200 million more people that are fit for that office, but you are one out of those that are been appointed. So you know Nigerians' explanation, Minister, don't you think?
I think what I owe Nigerians is to say that I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't break the law. I didn't do anything wrong. And NYSC I did, and I finished. I've got my NYSC, and
only that you concluded when you were in office.
Well, maybe not. You know, that is not the proper account.
But your certificate reads that you finished just when you were in office.
Is that what it says?
That's what your certificate says, as much as we know.
Well, I don't know
about... The NYSC's position at the time
I don't know about
that. Your date of conclusion coincides with when you were in office. And you are said to have attended to NYSC procedures while in office. Is that legally? You are a lawyer, so you know the implication of that.
I can assure you that nothing was done to break law or to break regulations. That is what I can say to you. Absolutely nothing. Everything that I did was in accordance with the law. And that is the situation, that is the position. And like I said, one day I will come out with an account of my own account of what happened to set the record straight. But as of now, I think it is important for me to focus on giving Nigerians the deliverables. The fact that I'm sat here and the fact that this matter was adjudicated in court should give Nigerians the satisfaction that, you know, I do deserve to, as any other Nigerian, to be given the opportunity to serve my country at this level.
You don't think that you're more some kind of political burden to the president? No, the president is thinking about reshuffling his cabinet. You worry that you might not make the cut with all of the controversies and the issues around your office and your person?
You know, well, I don't think there's a controversy about my person, and I don't think there's a controversy about my office. I beg to differ. What I can tell you is I campaigned with the president, and I trust his judgment. I know, what I know of the president is that he has a mission and a vision to make Nigeria better than what he met it. He is a man that is very courageous. I think as a leader, you have to take courageous decisions. In order for him to give Nigerians those deliverables, he needs a team of lieutenants to do that. And I think it is healthy in any democracy and for any administration for him to look at his cabinet and his lieutenants to see who are working in tandem with him to give those deliverables. And if anybody isn't, I think we have to trust his judgment. So I'm not worried, because I know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the best interest of the nation, and whatever decision he will make in terms of the restructuring or otherwise of his cabinet is going to be in the best interest of delivering that mission and vision for Nigerians.
You are heading a ministry that compared to other African countries has the lowest in terms of GDP to the economy, and it's less than 1.5% of the GDP. And you had promised, and you are hoping that Nigeria can get nothing less than $100 billion in that sector. It's almost a year. Have we gotten $1 yet?
Yes, you have, actually. To be honest with you, you know, when we came into this ministry, we found that we had to start from ground zero. I think one thing that you have to give credit to the president is the fact that he created this ministry in the first place.
Oh, there's been an arts and culture ministry.
Yeah, but there's not been the component of creative industry, which is the biggest part of the ministry.
Now.
Yes, now, well, in the world.
Because we don't see any structure yet for the creative economy. What we have seen is more of the art and culture, the existing structure in the parastatals under your ministry.
But even the existing structure that you've had, a lot of them were somewhat obsolete. For example, the cultural policy that we had was one that was obsolete and needed to be updated. So even the component that you had existing before was invariably overshadowed by information, because it was always under information. So now you have a ministry, arts, culture, creative industry, and really tourism really go together. So you have a ministry that is able to cater specifically to that sector. And like I said, when I came on, I found that we had to start from ground zero because nothing had been done for the creative industry. And as we know, now when we talk about the fact that Nigerians are doing absolutely astronomically well on a global stage, we know that they were able to do that on their own organically, and government had really done nothing to put any structure in place, which is the reason why you see not much contribution to the GDP. So in coming in, I brought in the likes, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel, so I brought in the likes of BCG, McKinsey, EY, and asked BCG to do a proper sort of deep dive for me to see what we can do in terms of being able to reap the full potential and value of the industry. So they use benchmark countries such as in South Korea and other climes where they've been able to really leverage on that creative industry and the cultural industry in Brazil and some other countries like in America to really add a great expansion to the economy. So they used that and they bought the structures that were put in place in those countries, and then they brought it to Nigeria, and what we did was we sort of localized it. And in doing that, we have been putting up those strategies in place. So what you have seen us do is work towards a very meticulous effort in putting those strategies in place.
All right.
We're at the implementation stage now. So
just give me a moment.
Okay.
Let's go on the break. But when we return, the minister is going to be telling us, well, there are plans, according to the ministry. I've seen a few of those. And the ministry is also now talking about achievement. Well, if you have not seen any of those, also, we'll be asking, what are those plans? About 8 or 9 of the priorities of this ministry. How much of those have they been able to do? They say they can push the benchmark in terms of how much of money we can get from the creative economy. There are those who will say we are not producing as much as we need to produce as a people. Would this ministry be able to give us more money than we think? We'll find out more after this break, everyone. Join us again. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. The Minister of Arts, Culture, and the Creative Economy, Ms. Anato Musawa, is also a lawyer who's been speaking with us on the program. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's dive into it. You are talking about how much of plan that you have. You've set out 8-point plan. If you can take a minute to just look at it, because I have so much questions to ask, from building a destination Nigeria 2030 to skills development, fast tracking policy frameworks and all whatnot. Can you just in about a minute tell us what is 8-point plan? This is your ministry and this is your coming from your desk, isn't it?
Yes, of course. So, you know, this 8-point agenda, this is the strategy that we came up with BCG in order for us to be able to give this economic expansion that you spoke of earlier on, which we're looking at $100 billion increase in the GDP, and also to have a cultural expansion, making Nigeria the cultural hub, soft power initiative that we've come up with, and also job creation. We keep on talking about the younger demographic. So this 8-point plan that we have, what you see, all the things, if you put in place, will catalyze and be able to give us the ability to do that. Now, under this 8-point plan, what you have is also 14 key initiatives that we've been able to identify. Once everything is in place, you will find, I mean, our target for 2027 is 20 billion naira increase in the, $20 billion, sorry, increase to the GDP. Hopefully, by 2027, once all these modalities are in place, what we hope to see is a replication of what happened in the telecoms industry.
So in 3 years, you want to grow the economy, the sector
to contribute
to the economy as much as $20 billion.
That's
and what is contributing less than $1 billion at the moment. In fact, less than $100 million at the moment. But you want to go. Is that realistic?
It's very realistic.
You're telling Nigerians what is unrealistic.
It's not unrealistic. It's actually not unrealistic, given the fact that there's no structure in place. Like we spoke to you earlier on about the fact that there's no structure. So even without structure, we're able to contribute to a certain extent. And then you have to look at most of the value that comes into the creative economy space for Nigeria is taken outside. Once you close all the lacunas and you're able to bring that value in, that will have a huge impact.
How much of a structure have you built in the last year?
So what structure we have built, the first and foremost, of course, has to be policy. So we have signed MOUs.
A framework?
Yeah, a framework, a policy framework.
Is it a legal framework or policy framework?
No, policy framework. Okay. Of course, we get to the legal framework as well. But policy framework is key. When you talk about the creative industry and trying to find some level of investment and securitization, you can't really talk about it without the foundational step of IP, intellectual property. So we have been working with NESG to develop a number of policies, starting with IP policy, which will be delivered to Nigeria at the most in 2 weeks.
There was an amendment to the law,
yes,
which was done last year.
Yeah.
That amendment, were you aware of it? Did you contribute to it?
No.
Did your ministry contribute?
No, we
because
didn't.
I know that this government inherited that and it was passed just about when the last government was going out.
Yeah, no, we didn't contribute to it. I mean, when we came on, that's why I said that's why I said we started from ground zero.
Have you been able to look at the law, whether or not it is industry standard compared to what global practices has to offer?
Yeah, these are all this is all the sort of interrogation process that we're doing. I said to you earlier on that a number of the policies and a number of the laws are obsolete. So we need to bring them up to, like you said, global standard practice, which is part of the work that they did with BCG, to look at what is the global standard and localize it, bring it into Nigeria, then localize it. So, like I said, IP, going back to IP is the formidable structure that you have to have in place in order...
Intellectual property.
Intellectual property. Yeah, intellectual property. So we have done an MOU with NESG. We've been working meticulously, and the reason why it has been slow is because you have to do a meticulous process where you have to have all the different interests. You know, you have to do a proper stakeholder engagement. And we have been able to do a very thorough job. And looking at the fact that it's 49 subsectors, everyone has been represented. It's at the very final stage. We did this together in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and Investment, Honorable Minister Doris, and it's now with the Attorney General. So by next week, I think on the 14th of this month, is when we're having the stakeholder engagement to look at the policy.
Minister.
And it will be delivered. I just have to say this, it will be delivered in 2 weeks. So that is in terms of the policy. Cultural policy is coming straight after that. Creative economy policy is coming after that. Then you have the incentives policy, the monetary policy. So a number of different policies to put a proper structure in place to catalyze and to encourage the enabling environment that we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, we will hold your feet to the fire as a political party. Because enough of the English now, that your political party has
Well, I didn't think you wanted me to speak French. So.
No. When I say English, I'm talking about the messaging.
I know.
So a lot of Nigerians have heard your party talk about so lofty ideas, and it's not the lack of the ideas that Nigeria is suffering from. It's the lack of the focus and the purpose. Our people are living in abject poverty.
Okay.
A lot of and the potentials are there. And first, on one hand, is how much of jobs, and we want numbers now. We want you to be realistic with us. How much of jobs can your ministry give to Nigerians in 1 year?
So, well, let me go better than that. So we have signed an MOU with Big Win to deliver jobs in the industry specifically for a younger demographic, right? Initially, our target was to get 2 million jobs by 2027, but now that has been extended to at least 2 million jobs by 2030. Together with
where
Big Win.
And how would?
Well,
let us know what exactly. Where are these jobs going to?
Big is in the creative industry. Is within the full spectrum of
film?
the creative industry.
Is it music?
No, you can't
Is it
say
what?
that. Is everywhere. You see what
we want to know specifically.
No, we're not going to pigeonhole the industry or the ministry.
You know the reason why, Minister, that some of us will not allow a blanket statement as to jobs, because there are millions of people who are there who are looking for those opportunities, want to hear them. They want to know specifically.
But what
if you say that there are going to be jobs, they want to know so that they can look out for
no,
it.
but I,
as
a minister, sitting in a ministry with a creative industry that has 49 subsectors, I also will not allow a situation where a narrative is pressed that a certain subsector within a certain element within those subsectors is more important than others. Film, music, fashion, those are extremely important parts of the subsectors.
But Nigerians need to know where these...
But there are people in rural communities that don't have that accessibility, and they have to know that their ability to leverage on the creative industry is as important as the bigger subsectors, such as film.
So you can't tell us where the 2 million jobs are going to specifically come from?
When Big Win comes with their strategy, because they already have a strategy that they used in Rwanda, for example, and like I said, we have signed an MOU with them. We are about to roll out that particular strategy. When it comes, you will find all the different details as to that respect. But like I said, as a minister of creative industry that sits atop 49 subsectors, I will treat every single subsector the same. Comedy, craft, everything, sculpturing, gaming, animation is all the same. And these jobs will be spread across the full spectrum of that industry.
So you have, in terms of mention and all that, you have Hollywood, you have Bollywood, you have Nollywood. Now, Nollywood was a sector, just like many other sectors, that grew itself.
Yeah.
Without government's government's push, because in all of this, for example, there are those who will say India leveraged their film industry to generate over $2 billion in exports annually.
Yeah.
A lot of what we see in the film sector in Nigeria, government had no role to play.
Absolutely.
It's been private sector.
Yeah.
How much of effort are you putting in pushing the film sector?
100% effort, because, you know, I spoke to you earlier on about the fact that government up until now had done nothing. This is the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the first that has come in to look at a ministry that is supposed to cater specifically. So in coming in, I found that nothing was in place. Now, we've spoken about the issue of policy. Now you look at the issue of infrastructure. You've just spoken about India. The fact that India is able to benefit economically is because they have the infrastructure in place. There's no...
What infrastructure are you building?
We're building a horde of infrastructures, right? Let's start with...
Is it production or...
Everything.
Exposure infrastructures?
It's absolutely everything. We're looking at cinemas. India has 10,000 cinemas. Nigeria, we only have 70 cinemas. So, you know, how are you expected to grow the industry without this infrastructure? We're talking about arenas. There's not one arena in Nigeria. So you, as a Nigerian, wanting to listen to Afrobeats, has to go to another country if you want to listen to it in an arena. So we are building arenas all over the country. We're building these cottage cinemas, incubation hubs, clusters that will, accelerators that will allow within the locality creatives to go and create. We're building Abuja Creative City in conjunction, together in partnership with the Ministry of FCT. That will be a one-stop shop for everything along the full 49 subsectors.
So we know, Minister, we know what Hollywood did for America's image.
Yeah.
And perhaps Hollywood has portrayed Russia as a brutish and bullish kind of government, or
Yeah.
I mean, and portray China the way it is portrayed India. Now, Hollywood has been able to give a statement about the American people. So there are a lot of people who imagine that is that a deliberate effort of this government to give Nigeria the kind of image. When we saw last of a deliberate effort of the government to portray an image of Nigeria was during Dora Akuyili's time as a minister. A lot of criticism came. Lai Mohammed tried that, albeit with a lot of controversy and affair. Are you putting a deliberate effort in giving Nigeria the kind of image that Hollywood gave America?
Well, if you've not seen it before, you're going to see it now. The fact that we even launched Destination 2030, that's really what Destination 2030...
What does
Destination 2030 is an initiative that hopes to leverage on the cultural and creative industry to reposition Nigeria. Already now we have gone up 14 points on the Global Soft Power Ranking Index. So already, we've agreed that the creators have done astronomical job in terms, organically on their own, in terms of showcasing Nigerian content, talent and creativity, right? So that's what the government now wants to look at. All the interest in the world in Nigeria is really lying within the creative and cultural space. So government is now coming in and just looking at that to see what we can do. Destination 2030 was launched earlier on in the year. And in every single global summit or what have you, the Biennale, the Davos at UNGA, we have taken Destination 2030 globally. The poem that you saw earlier on is part of Destination 2030.
Minister, we need to go now because we're totally out of time.
The infrastructure.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the infrastructure. There's so much to talk about.
National Theatre, when is going to be
National Theatre, thank goodness for PPP. The Committee of Bankers came in and fixed the National Theatre as a gift to Nigeria. That national edifice, by the end of this month, will be handed over to the federal government.
We need to go. The Burna Boys of this world, the Davidos, the Wizkids of this world are making Nigeria proud.
Yeah.
The monies from TikTok, from YouTube, from Twitter, all of those money come just above the head of this government. Little or nothing come directly into the economy. But that's
until now.
As it started coming.
That's what I'm saying. Once we put the structures in place, the value will be brought back home.
Ms. Anato Musawa, Minister of Arts and Culture and the Creative Economy, thanks so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Sharon. Thank you.
That's our show for tonight. Many thanks everyone for watching. I'm sure Kimbale. God bless Nigeria.